Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the school board meeting of September 18th, 2019. The board also participated in a closed risk management session prior to this meeting. The regular board meeting is now called to order. Mrs. Bass, will you please take the roll?
District 1, Barbara McQuinn.
Here.
District 2, Chuck Shaw. Here. District 3, Karen Brill. Here. District 4, Erica Whitfield.
Here.
District 5, Frank Barbieri.
Here.
District 6, Marcia Andrews.
Here.
District 7, Deborah Robinson.
All right, we have all 7 board members present. We'll take a motion in a few minutes to authorize Mrs. Whitfield to access the meeting by telephonic attendance. Also in attendance today is the Superintendent Dr. Donald Fenoy, General Counsel Julie Enrico, Inspector General Lung Chu, and Palm Beach County Student Council President Jaden Manuel. I'd like to remind all who will be speaking today that this meeting is being transcribed in real time so it can be viewed with closed captioning. Please speak at a reasonable pace so the transcribers can fully capture what you are saying. This evening there is one proclamation on the agenda acknowledging September 15 through October 15 as Hispanic Heritage Month. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by General Counsel Julie Enrico. Here to present the flag is the Boynton Beach Community High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC under the direction of Master Sergeant Patrick Barber, and singing the national anthem is the Palm Beach Gardens High School Chamber Chorus under the direction of Ashley Taylor Osario.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Left, pivot, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Color guard, hold. Color guard, right, pivot, march. Left, 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 right. Color guard, forward, march. Left, left.
Thank you, Boynton Beach Community High School and Palm Beach Gardens High School Chamber Chorus. We need a motion to approve Mrs. Whitfield's attendance by telephone. Motion by Ms. McQuinn, seconded by Dr. Robinson. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Superintendent, do you have any items to add to the agenda this evening?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to add.
Items to withdraw?
Yes, sir, I have several items to withdraw. COM5, ELR3, ELR6, I1, and ST3.
All right, then we have two items been pulled by the board, PC3. Are there any other items the board members want to pull?
We're also pulling I2. I2, it's not on here, but I2.
Okay, and also the I2 has been pulled. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
You have to pull it to abstain.
Motion by,
Yes, I have to pull the item. I didn't realize I have to do that to recuse myself.
okay, so Ms. McQuinn is pulling I2.
Yes.
All right. Motion to approve the agenda as modified. Motion by Dr. Robinson, second by Mr. Shaw. Any discussion? Go ahead, Dr. Robinson.
I'm sorry, I just want to be clear. My items were pulled. PC3,
PC3 is pulled, yes.
Yes.
okay. I just didn't hear them announced. And then FMPO2 and PA2. They're on our green sheet. I just didn't hear them read. Okay, thank you.
I'll correct it when it comes in.
All right, so those items also been pulled. State them again, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you. It's PA2, PC3, and FMP01. Oh, O2, I'm sorry.
FMP02. All right. Let's take another motion to approve the agenda as further modified. Motion by Dr. Robinson, seconded by Ms. Brill. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Disclosures and abstentions. Dr. Robinson?
Thank you. Yes, I'll be abstaining on PC3.
All right, and Form 8B, I understand, has been attached to the item of, and Ms. McQuinn?
Yes, I'm recusing myself from I2 for I have family involved in the case.
All right, and Form 8B for Ms. McQuinn has been filed with the clerk. Do we have any other disclosures or abstentions between those two? Okay. Superintendent, Mr. Superintendent, you have comments?
Yes, sir. I'd like to begin by acknowledging Hispanic Heritage Month, which, as you heard a moment ago, is celebrated annually from September 15th through October the 15th. During this time, the district acknowledges the culture and traditions of students, teachers, staff, and community members who trace their roots to Spain, Cuba, and other Spanish-speaking countries in North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Hispanics are the fastest-growing ethnic group in Palm Beach County. The school district serves more than 65,000 Hispanic students, representing 21 Spanish-speaking countries. We are so proud of the Spanish dual language programs offered at several of our schools. As I mentioned, numerous Hispanic heritage events and activities are scheduled in our schools and throughout the community. Please find out more about these events by visiting palmbeachschools.org. I'd also like to share information with you about the recent arrival of Bahamian students displaced by Hurricane Dorian. So far, 92 students from the Bahamas have been welcomed into our schools since Dorian devastated large portions of the Bahamas. Here's what that warm welcome looks like at Alamanda Elementary School.
Our friend named Keyshawn, he lived in the Bahamas and his house got broken by the hurricane.
I saw one of my students and I told her that we were getting a new student the next day from the Bahamas. Right away her face lit up and she was really excited. She wanted to do something special for him.
She told me that we were getting a new student in our class. So I was really excited that I meet a new friend from a different country, and I thought to make him really welcome. So I made him a Welcome to America card. So I just want you to feel as welcome as possible. So I made this.
We teach the kids about kindness all the time. And I kind of tell my students too that it's like a domino effect. If you're kind to one person, then they're kind to someone.
It's very nice to see that Keyshawn's now actually getting used to our school.
I had 3 more students then who piggybacked on that and made him a card and made him a craft, and it's really been special.
Because he's only been here for about 2 days, and it's been a pretty wacky week this week. That's a good thing because it starts friendship, and then it spreads more and more and more. That means you have more friends.
Absolutely. I'd like to personally, let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to personally welcome Keyshawn and all the other Bahamian students who have been recently admitted into our schools. And finally, I'd like to congratulate Diana Fetterman, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, and her team. Dr. Fetterman and her team worked more than a year to secure a generous grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The grant will help the district provide professional learning for new teachers to support a new math curriculum for middle school students. Receiving a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is an honor, and I believe that this partnership will lead to better outcomes for all of our students and help prepare them for postgraduate success. Mr. Chairman, that's the end of my comments.
Thank you. Ms. McQuinn, do you have any comments?
Yes. Before we get to the general counsel and superintendent's evaluation placed on the agenda, I do want to particularly thank Mark Howard, who is so very helpful and kind in walking us through the process. It appears the technology changes every year, and I emailed him late yesterday evening, and of course he got right back with me. Here's my cell, you need to call me. So I just want to thank you for making this process as painless as possible. Thanks.
Thank you. Mrs. Whitfield?
Thank you. Yeah, I do have some comments I would love to make really quickly, and I do apologize for not being there. I wanted to talk quickly about the changes to the SNAP guidelines that are coming out from the federal government. We actually have an opportunity as a community to put in public comments on these guideline changes, these policy changes, up until September 23rd. And I would encourage everyone to consider doing this. The guideline changes that they are looking to make would have an impact on about 500,000 children in the country, 7,000 of them here in Palm Beach County, who would no longer be receiving federal funding from the USDA for food. So the SNAP is where we get food for our federal from our federal government, from the USDA. The other thing that's very important about it is the way that it affects our school food service program and the way children are immediately put from SNAP into being approved through school food service. This would have a very big impact on our students here locally. So 7,000 students who would no longer be automatically included and potentially not be able to receive food through our schools. So if you are interested in that, I will give you the website. You can go check it out and see some more information about it. It is http://bit.ly/SNAP-rule-campaign-2. So that's http://bit.ly/SNAP-rule-campaign-2. And that's it for my comments tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Whitfield. Hope you feel better. Ms. Brill?
Thank you. And I just have a couple of brief comments today. I attended two events at two very special schools that I want to share with you. The first was the groundbreaking last week for South Tech Academy, which was a groundbreaking at the old Odyssey Middle School. For those of you that don't know, South Tech Academy is a conversion charter school that offers a full array of technical and vocational programs. And as my colleagues know, I sit here and lament all the time that District 3 only has one high school. So I am very happy that the students in my district are going to have another alternative to attend. I also today had the opportunity to attend and speak at the Palm Beach School for Autism's Project Next program ribbon cutting. That program focuses on job training, building independence, and community inclusion at the School for Autism. Now, I have to tell you that when we attend graduations and we see the students with their excitement walking across the stage, we shake their hands and congratulate them. We often ask them where they're going to go to school. And there's an excitement and a passion in the air. Well, for these students with disabilities, when they graduate, in many cases, that's the end of the road for them. They sit at home if they don't get that job training, if they don't have the skills. And so today I had the opportunity to see some of the young people at the School for Autism learning job skills and life skills such as cooking, vacuuming, folding clothes. To all of you, that might not sound like much to do, But for those of us who have students with disabilities, children with disabilities, that's life-changing. So I just wanted to bring that up because education is provided in a variety of ways, and I'm very proud of the partnership we have with our schools that address some of our students with special needs. And finally, for those of you who are celebrating, I just want to wish you a happy and a healthy New Year. Shana Tova. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brill. Mrs. Andrews?
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. Today I had the pleasure to be with the League of Women Voters. Our superintendent was the guest speaker, speaking on educational updates. I love the League of Women Voters. They are so involved within our Palm Beach County area, and they have been so supportive of the Palm Beach County School District. We thank them personally for their support with the referendum, the penny sales tax, and everything that they do for us. So it was a great time at the luncheon today. Yes, we're celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. It's a big time. When we think about Palm Beach County, we're looking at the Hispanic population. It's growing by leaps and bounds. 37+% of Palm Beach County population is Hispanic. When we think about celebrating, we need to celebrate our diversity every single day. And I'm asking all of you to look at the different events that will happen this month and participate. And as we move forward with working together in diversity within Palm Beach County schools, let's remember our Hispanic heritage right here in Palm Beach County. And lastly, I'm just returning from Osceola County representing you, the school board, at the legislative meeting for the Florida School Boards Association. And we were working on the state priorities for the Florida School Boards Association. And yes, Palm Beach County, we're right in line with the kinds of priorities that the state Florida School Boards Association is looking at too. You will be receiving the list that we voted on and approved last week. And I know that we'll be talking about our local priorities, and we all come together to make it happen for the school districts all across the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. Dr. Robinson?
Thank you. This month's Black History Fact I actually wrote last month, but then I was sick, so I hope that I keep the tense correct. So the topic tonight is the 1619 Project. And much of what I will say will be taken from the New York Times in their series on 1619. So in August of 1619, just 12 years after the English settled Jamestown, Virginia, 1 year before Puritans landed at Plymouth Rock, and some 157 years before the English colonists even decided that they wanted to form their own country, the Jamestown colonists purchased 20 to 30 enslaved Africans from English pirates. The pirates had stolen them from a Portuguese slave ship that had forcibly taken them from what is now the country of Angola. Those men and women who came ashore on that August day 400 years ago were the beginning of American slavery. They were among 12.5 million Africans who would be kidnapped from their homes and brought in chains across the Atlantic Ocean in the largest forced migration in human history prior to the Second World War. Almost 2 million did not survive the grueling journey known as the Middle Passage. So according to the author Nicole Hannah-Jones, the purpose of the 1619 Project is to reframe our country's history, understanding that 1619 was our true founding and placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black America at the very center of the story we tell ourselves about who we are. From the project's lead reporter, the 1619 Project underscores the Black condition in America. We are the constant reminder of the lie at the origins. While Thomas Jefferson was writing the Declaration of Independence, his enslaved brother-in-law was there to serve him and make sure he was comfortable. According to her, if you believe that 1776 matters, if you believe that our Constitution still matters, then you should also have to understand that the legacy of slavery still matters, and you can't pick and choose what parts of history we think are important and which ones are not. Just a few more. according to the New York Times, conveniently left out of our founding mythology is the fact that one of the primary reasons the colonists decided to declare their independence from Britain was because they wanted to protect the institution of slavery. By 1776, Britain had grown deeply conflicted over its role in the barbaric institution that had reshaped the Western Hemisphere. In London, there were growing calls to abolish the slave trade. This would have upended the economy of the colonies in both the North and the South, hence independence from Britain, to maintain the cash cow. So in closing, I just want to tell you that in recognition of the ancestors, the NAACP organized the Jamestown to Jamestown project. Participants in this historic event, including our own state president of SEIU FPSU, Alfonso Mayfield, participated and visited the historic Jamestown Visitor Center to symbolize the ancestral arrival at Point Comfort near Jamestown, Virginia. They wrote letters to the ancestors and placed them in a fire, a symbolic African tradition. They visited the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and then on to Jamestown, Accra, Ghana, where they were warmly greeted by the President and Chief and Queen Mothers who welcomed them back home. Attendees visited the Slave River, where the enslaved Africans had their last bath before their trek to the coast for shipment to the Western world, never to return again. They visited the W.E.B. Du Bois Center for Pan-Africanism, and then they walked through the door of no return. We must never forget, and our children must learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Mr. Shaw.
Thank you very much. When Mrs. Brill was talking about the Palm Beach School for Autism, one of the things that we saw there today as part of this next program is concern the partnerships that have been built within the community with businesses, particularly Duffy's Restaurant worked with them in equipping and installing a complete commercial kitchen at that school for the students to work with. They have also partnerships with several hotels and other businesses, and the partnerships that they've done is something that is really something to recognize the school for. And my only other comment was at the League of Women Voters meeting today, Dr. Fenoy was speaker. Oh, I can't believe he's not in here right now. My chance to give him a hard time, and he's not even going to be there. Very good. I'm glad you're back. When I got here, he said, "How did I do with my speech today?" I said, "Dr. Fenoy, you were a rock star with them." So he is now a rock star with that. But it was an amazing meeting, and he did a very good job and represented our district well. My final comment was last Saturday, I had the opportunity to be at the West Palm Beach, or the West Palm Beach Veterans Memorial Cemetery for a program that's on Saturday morning to recognize POWs and MIAs. And this was a program that was coordinated and has been done for several years by a young man by the name of Joshua Katz, an Eagle Scout. And the Scouts put this entire program together. Really, Joshua put the whole thing together himself. It was an amazing program and something that makes you very proud of our students in Palm Beach County for what they do and the efforts they put forth.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. As to my report, the chairman's report is attached to your agenda. You all have a copy of the various meetings that I had as board chair over the last month. In addition to the meetings that are scheduled, I had, of course, the regular meetings with the superintendent, deputy superintendent, chief operating officer, and the other administration in the upper administration. I want to point out a couple of things, a couple of the meetings. I had a meeting with Chairman Wilhite of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. Chairman Wilhite indicated he would like to help Palm Beach County with respect to the ambiguities in the recently enacted statutes dealing with safe school officers. And he asked if we could get him information as to the ambiguity so that he could understand them and help us with those. I asked Mrs. Rico's office to if she would provide him with an explanation of the issues in that area, and she's agreed to get that information to him. Chairman Wilhite also asked some questions about security issues in the schools, and I suggested he meet with Chief Kitzrow to review those concerns. I spoke with Chief Kitzrow, and his office is arranging that meeting also. I was asked to attend the Golden Bell Foundation breakfast and be the keynote speaker, and on behalf of the board and superintendent, thank the foundation for its long history of supporting our schools. Principals and teachers from 20-plus schools were in attendance, as well as Ms. Brill, Deputy Superintendent Oswald, Chief of Staff Tierney, South Region Superintendent Licata, and the South Region Instructional Superintendents. At that meeting, Golden Bell gave grants to 20-plus schools totaling approximately $100,000, bringing the total that Golden Bell has given to our schools to over $1.8 million. Finally, I want to thank Dr. Geraldine Johnson, Director of Choice and Career Options, for organizing the very successful 9th Annual Constitution Day program here in our boardroom on September 13th. I was asked to give a brief welcome to the nearly 300 Criminal Justice and Law Academy students from our middle and high schools who attended the event, and I thank Judge Rowe of the 15th Judicial District and the other attorney panelists for taking the time to meet with our students. The rest of the meetings that I had are for your review or on the agenda item that is attached. And with that, we are now ready for presentations. Now, Ms. Neka Nolan.